What's going on? What's going on, y'all? It is me, your host, Louis B. I am back with another installment of Checking In, where we highlight black entrepreneurs that's doing great things out here in the city of Atlanta. Oh my God. Listen, I am honored to be here. I am checking in today with the owner of this beautiful black-owned beauty supply.
Yes.
Kesha, owner of Kesha's Beauty Supply. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain at all. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem at all.
How you doing? Did I just ask you that?
You did, but it's okay.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
It's okay. It's all right. It's
I'm gonna ask you an interesting question, and this is gonna be starting all the way back because I like to see how people end up where they end up.
Okay.
As a little girl, and when I say little girl, relatively speaking, I'm gonna say 13 on back. What did you see for your life?
Honestly.
And that made you laugh. See, it's a good question, y'all.
Oh my gosh. I see myself being a psychologist.
Wow.
So literally, like the TV shows, sitting on a sofa with my glasses, perfect for me, but fixing other people's life.
Right.
That's how I see myself.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
My question is now, so how did we get here?
Okay.
What sprouted the idea of a beauty supply, if you wanted to do that?
Okay, so the first time it came to me was from my dad. In high school, he was like, we should have a family beauty supply store. We should do this and that. But I was like, I wasn't naive. I was in high school. I did not want to work. So I was like, okay, in one day out the other. And then I went off to school. I came back home. Well, I came home and I went to a beauty supply store and was very disappointed. Like, I felt like...
And it was ran by normally what we see
Yes,
running? Okay.
Same, literally the same. It was just, I felt disrespected. I felt low-key profiled, like they thought I was gonna steal something. And it was just like, it wasn't even that one encounter, it was just like the final one for me. Cause I feel it all the time.
Right.
And then they have us working in there and they kind of rude sometimes too. So it's like, let me just.
I feel like they train them.
Yeah.
Be rude to the customer.
Yes. They still watch.
Yeah.
But that was it for me. And I was just like, okay. It stuck in the back of my head ever since he told me back then. So it was like, do it. And years later, here we are.
Now I have to ask you the real questions.
Oh,
the real deal Holyfield.
Okay.
Now saying I want to do this now, it's cool, it's great, it's dandy.
Yeah.
Last year and shit, now we in 2022, the year before that was hell.
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure out how, okay, you can say I want to do this, but to fully go for it in this time, in the time of this pandemic, how? Like, shout out to God.
Listen.
Man.
Because it wouldn't happen no other way. Like, I say it all the time, like certain things that moved around for me to do this was literally only through God.
Wow.
I can't even explain some of it. Like, it's like, okay, how am I gonna, and then a couple days later or a week or two later, or even a month or two, it happens for me, but in the right timing.
Yeah.
So not in mine, but in his.
Always in his timing.
Yep.
Is there anything that you would have done differently in the process of opening the store during that time? Because I feel like a lot of people just went full steam ahead, and I see a lot of businesses now, they may be getting popular, but they might not even have been ready for that.
Correct. So this was, the store was in about 3 to 4 years of making. I went to school.
You said 3 to 4? Okay.
Yeah, so I did start before the pandemic, but if I could do anything different, I would probably have researched more options for opening it, like more companies. I'll say that without saying too much. Because there's a few companies out there that help black businesses open beauty supply stores. So I just would have did a little bit more research and compared.
Let's dive a little bit into that about like the stuff that people really just, because I think where we fall as black people, and I love us, but I think we fall short with just lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, there's other races out here, there's other ethnicities out here that just have the knowledge of, even if it's something as small as getting funding, loans and stuff like that. They just know how to do that, and it's just something that they don't teach us.
Right.
They don't tell us, so therefore we don't know. We feel like we have to keep doing the same mundane thing as everybody else.
Yes.
And everybody's on a different trajectory. So, man, like, I ain't trying to get any business.
Okay.
I ain't trying to get any business.
All right.
But roughly, I think it's important for people to know, like, how much did this thing from the inception of this idea to grand opening, how much did this even cost? People ain't even thinking shells ain't cheap.
Listen. Oh my God.
Mannequin heads ain't cheap.
Listen here. Ooh wee.
Man.
Okay, if I can give a rough number.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say about 150.
Wow.
Roughly. That's
Jesus.
between like construction, products, marketing. I invested in marketing early.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I think that's something even I'm struggling with. What does that even look like? Investing in marketing.
So this can be a long answer or a short answer. So basically, I did do a little research in that because I know opening a beauty supply store, first of all, it doesn't cost that much. Let me just say that. Like, you don't need $150K to open.
Okay.
However, I want to be different. I want my branding to be different. Like, we're gonna start small, but the goal is way past a store or even multiple stores. So I decided to invest a couple thousands in branding from the jump, so I don't have to later on make big changes and possibly lose my audience.
Okay.
So I did some research, and I actually had a homeboy that does it very well. And I got with them and we invested early on the name, the logo, the look, the message. And it's just easier for me now to just do it versus,
Okay, so jumping a little bit, investing in the name and stuff like that. Kesha's Beauty Supply. Personally, and I'm not just saying this because I'm here, I like the name Kesha. I love the name Kesha. I think all Keshas are beautiful. You ain't gonna find no ugly Kesha nowhere.
Please.
Not nowhere. To name the store after you, was that always the plan, or did you have another name in mind?
No, I had another name in mind.
What
the
was
first
that?
name was a Black Beauty Market, but it's so general. I couldn't really go forward with it legally, I should say that. Then I was like, okay, well, you got Sally's, you got Sunny's, you got all these other, why not just name it Kesha? Like, we all name Kesha. That's the tagline. Like, in a way.
Ain't nobody ever stopped to ask, who the hell is Sally?
Exactly. Like,
I like it.
Kesha it's like a staple name for the Black community anyway. Like, so I just feel like when you see Kesha, okay, they can be my cousin, my sister, my auntie, my mama.
I like it.
And it make you feel kind of at home when you come in here.
I like it. So speaking of that at-home atmosphere, what sets this place? Of course, I know because I've been through here a little bit. But what sets Kesha's Beauty Supply apart from everybody else? Because we know what everybody else's beauty supply look like. I ain't gonna say no names and no ethnicities. I'm gonna be quiet. But we always know what we see when we walk in the beauty supply. So what sets you apart from everyone else?
A few things, I think. I'm gonna say the look sets me apart. It's definitely more neat in here than the standard that we used to dealing with.
Right.
Customer service for sure. You can talk to me about your hair and I can understand it just a little bit more than they would. I can have a little bit more knowledge than they would. And just like the overall feel, I feel like even the products, I have more stuff for us than, you go in, it's 1,000 things. Like, I feel like I have the essentials.
Right.
So when you come in here, if you don't want to, take your hat off, we can go over here in the corner. I can tell you, okay, my aunt had the same thing. Let's come over out aisle 5. I got you. Like, I feel like it's more personable here. So that's what set me apart.
I like that a lot. And even more into that, like, you just pay attention to detail. We was talking about them thousands earlier, and you can just tell that them dollars went into just the look of the overall store. Like, I love your selfie corner. It's something that a lot of people don't think about.
Shout out to Kim, KR Props.
You know what I'm saying? It's something that a lot of people don't think about in terms of business, in that you have to have something. Shit, nowadays, I hate to say it, but we gotta follow this social media trend. You gotta find something that'll set you apart. And, as a first-time customer coming into a Black-owned beauty supply, going into that section. I love the what's in your bag thing over there too. That shit is divine timing.
Thank
you. Just seeing that selfie corner and then somebody will see that and say, you know what, I gotta take a picture over here before I leave. Post it, and that's just easy. It's just easy marketing right there.
Yep.
So
we'll come back, cause you know you can come in here with your bundle on or whatever. We don't judge. A lot of ladies be like, I'm not cute right now, but I'm gonna come back, and they come back and literally take a picture.
Man,
so
that's what it's about.
You know.
Speaking on, I know you were saying that you have products that fit to us, the essentials. What is the process for Black-owned cosmetic companies or beauty supply products? I don't know how to describe it. What is the process for a vendor to get their products in your store?
So like you mean like a small business or like the big names or either or?
Let's go for the small businesses.
Okay, so
Shea Moisture is good. We ain't gotta worry about it.
So we are actually opening up consignment towards the end of this month.
Okay.
Where we're gonna have an opportunity for all beauty brands, small business beauty brands. It's only for us to come in the store and get exposure and So the process of that will be an application.
Okay.
We got to see, how serious you are with your brand, because we can't just have somebody that doesn't really care much about their own brand coming in here to the store.
Right.
Like we have to keep up the standards. So it's an application process, and then once we go through the motions and the contracts, then you're in here. And we'll do like complimentary mention at the counter, like try out our black businesses. Pop-up shops, one pop-up shop per company. They can come in and set up and sell products that way too. So like that.
I like it a lot. Tell me what the reception has been like.
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great. We've been open maybe like a month and a half now, so it's been really
That's
good.
It?
Yeah.
Oh, I got here early.
You did. You gotta come back. But we open actually during the slow season for beauty supplies. So the fourth quarter, I'm gonna say November, December, is supposed to be like the slowest season, and it was really good. I'm kind of glad I opened during that time, because some people just want to support just because.
Right.
So I'm excited to see how this entire year will go.
I like it. I like it a lot. This is an interesting question. I don't even know where I wrote this one, but I wrote it in here.
Okay.
The tears that you have shed, if there were any,
plenty.
As it relates to this shop, tell me about the positive tears as well as the negative tears. I want to hear both sides.
Okay, we'll start with the negative first.
Okay.
Whew, the negative came, I'm gonna say year 2. The hardest part of this process for me was funding and finding a location. Denial after denial after denial. It was just looking like.
So this is funding going to your traditional banks and stuff like that?
Yes, like literally trying to get something. Like my bulk of the 150 came between savings, my father, and loans.
Wow.
So it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard. Like I had never been so stressed in my life. You could see it on me.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person where I don't really cry. So at first it started off with me just crying like in the bed, like sleep. And then it finally came out, I had sat down with my family, and then my dad was just like beating it into me, like, you gotta tighten up, you gotta do it, you gotta open the door. The doors are closed, open it. Yeah. So it was like extra stress, but still it was a push I needed. And like I said, with God, it finally came through. But that was the two things that had the most tears for me were finding a location and funding, and the denial that came with that. The positive side was getting this space.
Yeah.
And having the construction done in this space, and then opening, were like, this is for real. Like, I made it out the storm. I know
it was like, oh my God.
I can see the light now that was at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like, those are the few comparisons I got.
Well, I know you were saying the light at the end of the tunnel. However, I believe this is where the work begins.
Yeah.
This is where the real work begins. So what are your future plans for Kesha's Beauty Supply?
Oh, so many. I'm gonna just say a few, because some of them are still a secret. A few for this year, getting staff.
Okay.
Getting products wall to wall in the store, and hosting events. I'll say that little, but it's a lot more in the works.
I like it a lot. And I think this is my last question.
Okay.
it's all about paying it forward. So I brought which is kind of cool. I brought the question in asking, what did you see for your life as a little girl? Now I want to kind of tell you to talk to the little girls right quick. So if there's any big piece of information, inspiration, tips that you would give to a little girl that would come in your store and say, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, what would you tell her?
I would tell her that she has to work hard. Like, first of all, research. Make sure whatever your dream is that it's something that you can do on your worst day. And I would
sometimes
say,
for free.
Yes.
Shit.
A lot of times.
And in the red. Jesus.
In the negative red, okay? And I would say be consistent. Like, people say that all the time, but literally every day work towards it.
Yeah.
And take in as much information as you can. Read every book, listen to every podcast, watch every YouTube video.
Right.
Literally, like, drown in information. And put God first. Like, get out of his way, make him a CEO of your business, and you'll be fine.
I like it a lot. Listen, man, that is another installment of Checking In. Man, I promise you, I'm talking to phenomenal people every time y'all see this shit, and I hope that y'all can understand that Kesha is doing some beautiful things out here in Atlanta.
Thank you.
Want y'all to come out here, support her shop.
Yes.
Make sure y'all, man, buy this shit out by the boatload, you know
Please.
what I'm saying? Even if you don't buy nothing, come take a picture in the selfie stand so people can know what's going on and come in. You know, I think one of the biggest things, you know, sometimes we can't afford it. Real shit, sometimes we can't afford it, but word of mouth is still like the biggest form of marketing out here. So if you do that, if you're doing your due diligence to tell a friend, I promise you this place is gonna be bigger than you could fathom. You might have to buy out this whole spot.
Yes, come see me, y'all.
Listen, man, but for all of my other entrepreneurs out here in Atlanta, if y'all want to do a checking in with me, make sure y'all check in. Make sure y'all send me an email at WIMB and I'll get back with you, man. I want to talk to all of y'all. I really do. So, it's me, your host, Louis B, and Kesha. We out.